Hey guys, Zelonius here. Welcome to another video on the channel. In this video, we're talking all about defending. There's going to be a mix of stuff in this video. We're obviously going to be showing you some actual gameplay clips with defending, how I defend. Defending's tough on EAFC 24. I think it's the toughest it's been in a long time. The first patches could obviously change this. I like that. I feel like it needs to be a little bit more manual at this point. I feel like sometimes it's a bit too tough, and I'm more talking about the rebounds, the bad bounces. We will talk a bit about playstyles though, which can help with that. But also, I think the main thing that I think is quite annoying to defend is kickoffs, cutbacks, and I think that R1 dribbling, whilst it's good, it's probably a bit too OP at times, does glitch you out. It's a little bit annoying. But there are some things you can do to improve your defending. We're going to talk about those. So when we look at play styles, in terms of like actual defenders, I think for fullbacks, height's not a big deal. But I think for defender, you want at least one big defender who can deal with the aerial stuff more. When we look at play styles, and we're going to go through them all, there's no play style for scoring that really matters massively for defenders. Power header's nice for corners, I guess. Passing, I think long ball is fairly nice to spread the play with a defender. Whipped pass is fairly nice for fullbacks. When we actually look at defending, jockey, that is a very nice one. That helps a lot dealing with dribbling. Koundé has gold jockey. He's insane compared to a lot of other players that are dealing with dribbling. Block, fairly good. There's quite a few with gold block. Lucio, Company have that, I think. I'm not sure if Company does actually, but Lucio definitely has gold block. I don't think gold block activates as much as I thought it might, or at least doesn't pop above the head, but it's good. Intercept, Marquinhos has that. I think that's pretty good. Keeps the ball a lot better, which is very useful. But I find, generally speaking, interceptions do stick to you a lot more this year. It's more the tackles that don't. Anticipate. Now, this is probably, if I had to pick one play style for a defender to have, I'd go for this. I think this is very, very good. Some very good centre backs have gold anticipate, improved chance of standing tackle success, and grants the ability to stop the ball directly at their feet when they perform a standing tackle. So that's basically a circle or B tackle. When you press that, you're a lot more likely to keep the ball. That's really good. Slide, Delit has this. I used it. It's decent. It gives them a few different animations, does make the slides a bit better. But generally speaking, if you're sliding, there's something gone a bit wrong. Are you sick to death of getting out teamed on FC24? Want that God squad you've always been dreaming of? Check out iggm.com today. The best and most reliable place to get coins for your ultimate team. Use the link in the description and code ZEL at checkout for a 5% discount. Check out iggm.com today. Bruiser Ruben Diaz has this. It's for the seal out. This is a really good one. Very OP at times. If they get next to you and they have this, they're pretty much getting the ball. Ball control, I don't think any that matter there. On the physical, quick steps quite nice. I think Koundé has this. Quick steps pretty useful for dealing with players who are trying to get ahead of you. And then on aerial, that is a very good one. Rudiger has this. He's insane in the air, defensively and going forward. So aerial is a very good play style to have. In terms of the stats that you should look for, pace is a pretty obvious one. I don't think pace matters anywhere near as much as previous FIFA titles, but it's definitely useful. You need enough pace still. But like Ruben Diaz has 62 pace, you can get away with it with him. It's not the end of the world if a player's not rapid. Dribbling doesn't matter too much, but you don't want him to be too clunky. Passing is a plus, but the key stats I look for when it comes to defending, a defensive awareness is the number one. I think that's the most important. That also affects jockey speed. Interceptions and then standing tackle. I don't really care for sliding tackle too much. Heading doesn't matter too much either, in my opinion. Jumping is useful this year, but not be all and end all. And I think strength and aggression for once seem both very important. They're both noticeable. On previous FIFAs, it tended to be one or the other, whereas this year having both is very good. So Rudiger with high defensive awareness, high sprint speed, great strength aggression, a very good play style, tall. He is very, very good this year. The other thing outside of gameplay you could look at really is your tactics. I think defensive style, I pretty much start balanced, sometimes go to press after possession loss, and might go constant pressure. I'm still experimenting with the depth. Some people are saying if you go 71 depth or higher, it's a bit OP. I do think at times it leaves you a bit vulnerable. But generally speaking, my defensive style is based on my formation and the state of the game. So if I'm winning, losing, what I'm looking to do. Let's get into some actual gameplay clips though, while showing me defending and just some tips you can take from that. Very simple clip to start off this video, but on this game I don't think pace is that OP, in the sense of, unless you get torn completely open and they get a massive space run into, I don't think you really for the most part are going to get punished too badly. So what I always try to do is I try to press hard, trying to catch people out, and I'm trying to read what I think they'll do. So I'm running at my opponent here I think he's going to try and go there. I'm always trying to cut passing lanes if I don't think I can make a tackle. There, I step in now, because if he'd have gone there, I got the ball or could have got next to him. I do this a lot more aggressively as well with defenders who are very good physically. If a defender's got a lot of strength, you get next to someone and do the seal out. That's the X button on PlayStation or A on Xbox. You can generally knock them out of the way. I'm trying to put him under pressure and make a mistake. Here, I read that he's going to go there. He probably should have gone there and just built up a bit slow, but most of the time, people tend to force the ball forwards. I know he's going to go there. So here, I read it, step across, use Llorente's pace, get inside, get the ball. And then there, I go back to my keeper. Not sure why it seemed to freeze there. But as soon as I win the ball, I try go back, go somewhere safe. A lot of the time in this game, you can tackle and give the ball back straight away. Recycle the ball, build your possession. But watch that one more time. I'm being aggressive, stepping in. I know he's going to play there. I don't just launch him and dive in. I go there where he's going to take it, step in, get the ball. Nice job. Clip, again, you can see me defending. It's quite similar, so I try force my opponent again to mistake. Coman does make a good run outside though, so I switch to try cover that. Similar situation. Here, you can see my team are in a pretty good shape. I could have stepped in a bit more aggressive, but I start using the second man press. I'm trying to pinch him. Use the second man press with R1. You can see this green meter above. When that gets to nothing and it's red, it runs out. They don't really press very effectively. Effectively, I'm trying to press with him to make him not be able to just dribble for fun and step in there. I'm trying to cover that, make it so if he passes, I'll catch him out. Good turn by my opponent, and at this point, I probably should have switched a bit quicker. But I see there's danger, so what I do now is I switch. I could have, at this point, stepped in, dove in, made it a bit hard, but if I dive in there, and he turns, then passes, or just passes and I miss the ball, I'm in trouble. Cutbacks are OP on this game. You either have to dive in and know 100% you're going to get the ball, or mark the option. His only option for a cutback really is there. Saka's not going to get through for these two. And I step in. There's no way he's getting there. The only way he could have was turn and do that, and then I have more time to react. I step in. Could have obviously got a bit unlucky with the bounce, but at this point, I've covered every option really for the cutback and defended it well. Sometimes your opponents are going to get in good positions. You can't defend absolutely everything perfect. You might even get the ball, get bad bounces. It's just how you deal with that, how you react. Cutbacks, you have to make a decision. You're either committed to tackling the player who's going to do the pass, or you have to position to mark the option for the cutback. In this clip here, I'm going to show you a few different examples of defending. So here, what I quite often do if I'm against someone who's using someone who's not the best on the ball or not got great passing is, I try bait them into going for a pass I don't think they can make. Theo Hernandez, he's okay on the ball, not a bad passer, but not the best. I thought here that I've barely given him a gap. I think he's not going to make this. But Theo Hernandez does a great pass. Do I panic, dive in, my opponent's in a great position. Ultimately, he's got 3 there, 1 at the bottom. It's a 4v3, not a good situation for me. No, I stand my ground. I switch here. I can't get him back in time, so I switch there. He could have passed there, but I could switch there. I'm trying to bait him into that. I show him the wing, so I know he's probably at this point going to go there. And at that point, when he goes there, I see that he's taking a big touch. He probably should have been doing the R1 dribbling there. If they do the R1 dribbling, the controlled sprint, it is a little bit tricky. You have to stand your ground a bit more. But when people take a heavy touch like this, with a big centre-back, especially against the small players, you can just run at them. At this point, when I'm next to him, I press the X button, this physical challenge, seal out, send him flying. You're never going to get a foul on the game for that. You can't. There is the rare occasion it gives it, but you can kind of figure out once you've used it a bit when it does that. I know at this point I can step in, get the ball, not a lot you can do. Saved a pretty sticky situation. For the final clip here, I'm going to show you something a little bit more advanced that might help you deal with cutbacks. For a defending video, you could probably do hundreds of different examples of stuff. Some general tips I'm going to give you to use jockey. Don't dive in. Stand your ground, but know when you can actually step in, especially against the controlled sprint, you have to be very careful. Look for defenders with play styles. Slide when needed. They're actually a bit better this year. Press circle or B on Xbox when you're doing a defensive header to clear. That can honestly make a big difference. On this game as well, try not get frustrated. You honestly probably will concede some goals where you just look and think, I don't really know what I did wrong this year. I think this balance between attack and defense is very heavily slanted in attack. You just have to do all the right things to try and balance it as much in your favour as you can when defending. Here, one thing I would say is nice though is you don't really have to worry too much about skill moves. They're not bad, but they're definitely not as OP as normal. Here, I'm trying to read the player, switch here. I make it so he can't go there, but I am trying to cover there. Get a little bit unlucky that he gets there. At this point, I'm going to go and mark the cutback. This is a bit of an advanced thing. You can see now my players have got a blue triangle. That means I've pressed R1 or RB twice. I can't even remember what this is called. If someone can remember, please tell me. It's something like two-man press or something. I don't think that's the actual name. But effectively, when you do it, instead of second man pressing and running to the player on the ball, the two players with the blue triangle mark someone. They go and mark the nearest man. So you can see here, he's going to go to him. He's going to go to him. I'm trying to manually defend against this guy to stop him either cut back in or going there. And I want these guys to mark them. So watch what happens. You can see there, he's right now a big gap. Soon as I do that, he's on his way there. He makes the pass and he's in the right position. This is quite an advanced thing. You have to be careful if you don't time it right, or if you time it and Rudiger's like starts to run that way and he's going to run past him, they can get in on goal. But for cutbacks, when they are probably not got enough space running behind, you want them to get in. This is a very good way of defending. A lot of people don't even know about this, don't even use it. Your opponent can't see if you're using it as well, so it'll probably catch them out. Very OP defending technique to finish off the video. If you've got any questions, anything you want to know about defending, or anything you'd like me to cover more in depth for another video, please do let me know. Appreciate you guys and the support you show. As always, keep it spicy. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.